Interim Council Chairman Regmi arrives in New York, USA, scheduled to address the UN General Assembly today. Congress and UML to unveil final list of candidates within days. RPP Nepal announces candidates in 190 constituencies. Death toll from building collapse climbs to 13 in Mumbai of India. Thousands of Sudanese march through the capital Khartoum demonstrating against recent price hikes in fuel and gas. And Nepal stages a superb comeback to secure a 2 draw against Iraq in the AFC Under-16 Championship. Of Nepal Television, and I am Dela Prasai. Let's begin with the top stories we have. Chairman of Interim Election Council Khilaraj Regmi has arrived in New York, USA to participate in the 68th session of UN General Assembly. Nepal's permanent representative to the UN Durga Prasad Bhattrai, Nepali ambassador to the US Shankar Sharma, along with the officials from US State Department received Regmi at the JF Kennedy International Airport upon arrival. Chairman Regmi is leading Nepali delegation to the United Nations 68th General Assembly. He is scheduled to address the session at 10:45 a.m. local time. Following his address to the Assembly, Regmi is scheduled to hold separate meetings with Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. Regmi will also meet US Assistant Secretary for South and Central Asian Affairs Robert O. Blake. Chairman Regmi will also interact with Nepali community in New York before returning home on Tuesday. Major parties have almost finalized the list of candidates for the upcoming CA election. Unified Maoist, Nepali Congress and CPN-UML say they have almost completed the list of their candidates. However, the official announcement is yet to come. CPN-UML has given priority to the candidates who emerged victorious in the first CA election and those recommended by district and zonal committees. Also, those finishing as the runner-up in the earlier election have been considered this time. Leader Kesablal Shrestha said the final list will be made public within days. Nepali Congress, on the other hand, has finished selecting candidates in 50 districts as of Friday evening. Congress leaders said the final list will come on Sunday. The Election Commission has set September 30 as the final date to submit the closed list of candidates under the proportional system. The deadline for first past the post system is October 3rd. Rashtriya Prajatantra Party Nepal has announced its candidates in 196 constituencies under the first past the post system for the upcoming CA election. The party, which is fielding candidates in all 240 constituencies, says the remaining candidates will be announced today. So far, Chairman Kamal Thapa and General Secretary Krishar Bahadur Bista's constituencies have not been declared. Announcing the candidates of his party, Chairman Thapa said CA election is the best option to bail the country out of crisis. The party also unveiled its election manifesto that has expressed commitment not to announce strikes and bandhs ever. Police has developed and made public a sketch of alleged shooter in connection with the shooting incident in Jorpati of Kathmandu yesterday. Indian national Mohammad Shamshullah sustained bullet injuries in the shooting incident at Narayantar Friday morning. Witnesses said the assailants on a motorbike opened fire at Shamshullah and fled the scene. The injured Indian national is being treated at TU Teaching Hospital, Maharajganj. Police suspects the assailant could be Indians and has launched a massive manhunt. Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority CIA has nabbed one more individual in the Nepal Oil Corporation bonus scam. Chairman of the Employees Union, Senior Assistant Devi Prasad Neupane, has been taken in custody for investigation. Neupane reportedly has been directly involved in the bonus distribution process and blamed of issuing statements against the CIA move. CIA said necessary investigation is being carried out over the bonus scam. We take a short break here and stay tuned for more developments. And again we continue from the national arena. Ministry of Peace and Reconstruction has provided a self-employment training to the conflict victims of Jhapa. The 3-month training was aimed at making them independent. The training was conducted by the Peace Project with financial aid from World Bank. The trainee said they learned innovative ways to prepare fast food, pickles and other fruit and vegetables items. Jitiya, a major festival of the Rai women, especially from the Tharu community, is concluding this morning. On this festival, married women take fast for long life, peace and prosperity of their family members. Women observe the festival by taking fast for 24 hours, bathing in holy rivers and worshipping various gods and goddesses. The festival was started on Thursday. Now some international news. At least 13 people have been killed and dozens injured after a 5-story building collapsed in Mumbai Friday. The building collapsed near Dockyard Road in Mumbai, burying over 50 people. 40 people had been recovered from the debris, among which 13 were confirmed dead and 27 were sent to hospital for treatment. Some 12 fire engines and 4 ambulances rushed to the scene. However, heavy rain in the afternoon severely affected the rescue operation. The building is the official staff quarter for the city's civic body employees. Thousands of Sudanese protesters marched through the capital, Khartoum, demonstrating against recent price hikes in fuel and gas. Protesters poured out of mosques and marched in several parts of Khartoum as well as other cities, including Wad Madani, where the unrest began 5 days ago. The Sudanese government announced cuts to fuel and gas subsidies on Sunday, causing prices to leap and sparking public outrage. Security forces reportedly opened fire on marchers on 2 streets in the capital. At least 1 protester was shot to death, a doctor said, who declined to be identified because of the tense security situation. The UN Security Council has unanimously adopted a binding resolution on ridding Syria of chemical weapons. At a session in New York, the 15-member body backed the draft document agreed earlier by Russia and the US. The deal breaks a 2.5-year deadlock in the UN over Syria, where fighting between government forces and rebels rages on. The vote came after the International Chemical Watchdog agreed on a plan to destroy Syria's stockpile by mid-2014. Welcome back, and now we move to US, where US President Barack Obama has spoken by phone to Iran's Hassan Rouhani, the first such top-level conversation in more than 30 years. Obama spoke of a unique opportunity to make progress with Iran's new leadership amid a flurry of diplomacy over its nuclear program. Earlier, Rouhani has said Iran was keen to reach a deal soon. He also asserted that Iran did not seek a nuclear bomb, as Western powers have long suspected. Describing meetings at the UN this week as a first step, he said he believed the nuclear issue could be settled within the not-too-distant future. Miss Nepal Ishani Shrestha has won the title of Beauty with a Purpose in the Miss World 2013 beauty pageant being held in Bali of Indonesia. Though the participants directly fell in the final round of the contest, it has not been formally announced this time. However, Shrestha's possibilities have increased following her victory in the Beauty with a Purpose category. All the participants had taken part in 5 rounds of different categories of the beauty contest. Meanwhile, the grand finale of the contest is scheduled for today. 5 large water sports interrupted a lobster diving trip off the coast of Florida in the U.S. The dramatic footage was filmed by dive captain Kevin Johnson 6 miles north of Marathon and shows the large columnar vortex dropping down to the sea. At one point, he decided to go into one of the water sports, causing torrents of water to hit the camera lens. He said the responsible course of action would have been to call the weather service and report the water sport.
It hasn't formed yet, but you can...
And now we move to the business updates. The influx of foreign tourists in Nepal rose by 9% in the year 2012. Tourism is the major source of foreign currency in the country. Tourists from China, Sri Lanka and America occupied the top 4 positions. Nearly 800,000 foreigners visited Nepal during 2012. 600,000 came to Nepal via air route, while 200,000 tourists entered Nepal via road. And his father have appeared before a Spanish judge to answer questions in a multi-million euro tax fraud case. A complaint lodged by a Spanish state prosecutor in June said Messi and his father tried to conceal earnings from the players' image rights. The complaint alleged the Argentina international owed 4 million euros in back taxes from 2007, 2008 and 2009. Messi's father made a payment of more than 5 million on August 14 to cover alleged back taxes and interest.
आर्थिक समाचार
Nepal made a strong comeback from the 2 goals down to share point with Iraq in its second group match of the AFC Under-16 Championship on Friday. Skipper Bimal Khatimagar and Anjan Bisht scored a goal each for Nepal to secure the 2 draw in the match at Dasrat Stadium. Iraq's Hussam Hassan and Amir Shabaha scored a goal each in the first half to give 2-0 at the half-time. However, skipper Bimal Khatimagar's clinical finish cut down the deficit early into the second half as Nepal put up an improved show. Anjan Bist's searching corner found the nest in the 80th minute as Nepal scored the second equalizer. With Friday's draw, Nepal and Iraq share 4 points each, but the latter remains at the top of Group C on goal difference. Both teams have also strengthened their hopes of making it into the next round. In another Group C match played earlier, Bahrain beat Turkmenistan 3-1 to retain 3rd place in the group. Region number 3 Kathmandu, Region number 5 Nepalganj and Armed Police Force APF registered second straight wins on the second day of the Pepsi Standard Chartered T20 National Cricket Tournament Friday. In the match played at TU Cricket Ground Kirtipur, Kathmandu defeated Region number 9 Mahendranagar by 42 runs after having posted 149 runs. Similarly, Nepalganj beat Region number 1 Biratnagar by 6 wickets to register second win in a row in the match at Pulchok Engineering Ground while chasing 119 runs. Likewise, APF thrashed Region number 2 Birganj by 76 runs. Birganj was restricted just to 72 runs, chasing the target of 149 runs set by APF. Meanwhile, Region number 8 Pokhara registered first victory after defeating Region number 7 Janakpur by 50 runs in another match at Kirtipur TU Ground. Now the weather. Forecasting division says the weather in the next 12 hours is likely to be generally cloudy throughout the country with possibility of rain or thunder showers at some places. Details are here. With this news, we have come to the end of this bulletin, but before we wrap up the headlines once again. Interim Council Chairman Regmi arrives in New York, USA, scheduled to address the UN General Assembly today. Congress and UML to unveil the final list of candidates within days. RPP Nepal announces candidates in 190 constituencies. Death toll from building collapse climbs to 13 in Mumbai of India. Thousands of Sudanese marched through the capital Khartoum demonstrating against recent price hikes in fuel and gas. And Nepal stages a superb comeback to secure a 2 draw against Iraq in the AFC Under-16 Championship. Now it's time to say goodbye. We'll be back with another English news edition of Nepal Television at 12 noon. Till then, keep watching Nepal Television. Have a great time. Namaste.